Hi, Ray here. I'm in the forest. It's on the land. These people own, the friends of ours, Dominic and Hilda. And I'm going to take you for a tour in the forest and show you the yurt that I built for someone who runs forest school here, Kira. She runs forest schools and she uses the yurt over here. So I'll show you the yurt, take you for a tour of it and show you how it's put together. So I built this in a day with a bunch of other people. Mind you, I prepared it first. I had the pallets organised first, all stacked and down here, and I had the tarps ready, and I put the piles in the ground too. See the piles at the bottom there, around the edge. I had them all put in and level. That took a while. All up, the time I put in to get it prepared before people came was probably about 2 good solid days. 3 days, 2 solid days of organisation. Okay, so let's go in and have hang on, before we do, have a look at that. That is a pallet table. Just 4 legs, 4 strips of another pallet belted into the ground, and then screwed onto the block. There's solid blocks. It's real simple. Coming inside the yurt, you will see, I'll take you for a tour around it. See, there's 2 lots of pallets here. These are Euro pallets. So they are 1.2 metres high by 800 mil wide. So it's 1.6 metres across the top there, between those walls, to 1.2 metres down there. Same for that panel, 1.6 by 1.2, and so on. 1.6 by 1.2. Right, so that's that. Now how they're put together is, 2 were nailed together like that. Piece of wood here, down the bottom, and up the top, a piece of wood going all the way through. They're nailed and they're held together like that, and they are solid. And when they come here, they sit right down on a point I had marked out on the piles. Before I started the workshop off, I had points marked, and they put that first pallet in there, came up here, then up the top here, you'll see here, that's a metal plate that goes right across from there to there, and it nails into these solid bits here. Or screws actually. No screws. 1 screw, 2 screws, 1 screw, 2 screw. Probably about 50 mil screws. It's not that important. But that's a really strong join. And down the bottom it's just joined by nailing into the pile. So that's the walls. As for the rafters, I made that yurt ring before the workshop, of course. That would have taken a long time. So that took a while too. That would have taken a day all up. Forgot about that. And so on the day, the rafters are hazel, and we stripped them. I had 8 people in the workshop. I had 4 teams happening. Some were stripping, some were nailing the pallets together, and others were denailing or straightening nails. There was lots of jobs on the go. And so they all swapped around and they all had to go at everything. And then we started putting it together, and then the rafters were put on. Once we put the walls up, we put the rafters on. They were put in at the top. The top was the yurt ring, the crown, was held by someone, and we put about 3 or 4 in before we could start working quickly to get them all in. So we put one of these rafters in, put it into the yurt ring, have it hanging over the side, cut it off, square face, and then nailed it in, or screwed it in actually. And we did the same for all of them. We put opposites, and then corners, and then we could stop holding it up. And we could just self-sustaining for the holding. Right, so over here, this is a table. So you'll see here, this is a side wall, bit of a side wall of a rubber tyre. Here, coming down here, these hinges are from the side walls of a car tyre, the actual tyre, not the tube. This here is recycled plastic from hanging up tomato vines, which they couldn't use the next year because of disease. And it goes up and clips really safely. So that's it. Oh yes, so they wanted me to do Kira wanted me to do some calculations up here, how I worked it all out. So there's a couple of them if you want to know, if you want to look at the maths, some of you people. Just a few of the simple ones, so that any students that came along, she could say, well, maths is important, look what's happening here. Yeah, that's one little feature. So that's that. So that's the yurt, and as you can see on the ground in here, It's really dry. No matter how much it rains, it always seems to keep dry. It doesn't flood through there. It just seems to soak into the ground. In this forest. And this forest is an oak forest. I think it's about 25 years old, I think they put it in. It's going to be a real ripper when it grows up. Well, it's a real beauty now, but it's going to be quite different. Yeah, anyway. So that's the yurt, basically. Really sturdy. It's not going anywhere. And having the walls pulled right down, tucked over the sides there, stops any water getting into the pallets. Keeping everything dry is really important, I've noticed. And these tarps, we couldn't do the tarps on that day. I had to do the tarps half a day with another person and I. And we did the tarps where we had to run right around the wall. Then the top, I put 2 on, marked where they were joining, cut them, and then heated them together, welded them together with a hot air gun, heated them up and welded them together. But I wouldn't do that now. I would glue them together with a glue called Tech 7 or something equivalent. So there's the water butt for having water for washing hands. So, that's the yurt. Hope you enjoyed the video. I made a few blues here and there, but you won't be able to see them because I cut them out. See you later.